Hello, I'm Dr. Ryan Westbrook, and I want to talk with you about something that might surprise you. The habits you establish before 10 a.m., especially after you turn 60, can literally add years to your life. Not months, years. And the best part? These aren't complicated medical interventions or expensive treatments. They're simple morning routines that tap into how your body actually works. You see, your morning is like the opening scene of a movie. How it starts sets the entire tone for everything that follows. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to these patterns. Your metabolism shifts, your hormones change, your joints move differently. But here's what's exciting. You have more control over your health in these early morning hours than you might think. I've spent over 2 decades studying longevity, and I can tell you with confidence that the people living the longest, healthiest lives aren't necessarily doing anything extraordinary. They're just getting the fundamentals right. And they're doing it consistently, especially in the morning. So let me walk you through the morning habits that research shows can add years to your life. But more importantly, they add quality to those years. Better energy, better movement, better mood, better heart health, all starting before lunch. The first habit: hydration before anything else. Let's start with the very first thing you should do when you wake up. Not coffee, not your phone. Water. When you sleep, your body is working hard. You're breathing out moisture. Your organs are still functioning, still using water. So by the time you wake up, you're typically in a state of mild dehydration. And here's what dehydration does to your body after 60. It thickens your blood. It stresses your heart. It slows your metabolism. It makes your joints feel stiff. It clouds your thinking. So the first habit is simple. Drink water before anything else. Not a tiny sip. I'm talking about 16 to 20 ounces. A full glass or two. Room temperature is actually better than ice cold because your stomach absorbs it more easily. This one habit does something remarkable. It rehydrates your bloodstream. It activates your metabolism. It signals to your digestive system that it's time to wake up. Your kidneys start working better. Your circulation improves. Now, some people say, "But Dr. Westbrook, what about my coffee?" I'm not saying skip the coffee. I'm saying drink the water first. Wait 15 or 20 minutes, then have your coffee if you want it. You'll actually absorb the water better this way, and you'll feel better from the coffee because you're not starting your day dehydrated. The research is clear on this. People over 60 who start their day with water before coffee show better heart rate variability, which is a marker of heart health. They report fewer headaches. They feel less stiff. It's such a simple change, but it's one of the most powerful. The second habit: sunlight exposure. Within 30 minutes of waking. Here's something most people don't realize. Your eyes have a direct connection to your brain. When light enters your eyes first thing in the morning, it does something powerful. It resets your internal clock. It tells your body, okay, it's daytime now. Let's wake up properly. This is crucial after 60 because your circadian rhythm, which is your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, becomes more fragile. It gets weaker. Disruptions to your sleep cycle lead to worse sleep at night. Worse sleep leads to worse health outcomes. Everything from heart disease to diabetes gets worse with poor sleep. So within 30 minutes of waking up, get outside. Get real sunlight in your eyes. Not through a window. That filters out important wavelengths. Outside. Even if it's cloudy, the light is still there. 5 to 10 minutes is enough to start. What this does is brilliant. Your brain releases cortisol, which is your wake-up hormone. Not the stress hormone, but the natural wake-up hormone that gives you alertness and energy. This cortisol surge happens at the right time, setting you up for better sleep at night. Your body's internal clock gets stronger. Your energy becomes more stable throughout the day. And here's something that surprises people. When you get sunlight exposure first thing in the morning, your sleep at night improves dramatically. You fall asleep easier. You stay asleep longer. You wake up more refreshed. Studies on people over 60 show that those who get morning sunlight have better sleep quality, more stable energy, better mood, and even better metabolic function. One study found that older adults who got bright light exposure in the morning had fewer falls. Fewer falls. That's because their balance and coordination improved. If you live somewhere with very little morning light, like during winter or in certain climates, consider a light therapy box. 10 to 30 minutes with a proper light therapy device can replicate the benefits. But real sunlight is always better if you can get it. The third habit: gentle movement before food. After you've had your water and your sunlight, now it's time to move. Not intense exercise. Gentle, purposeful movement. And do this before you eat. Here's why this matters so much after 60. Your metabolism is slower. Your joints are stiffer. Your muscles have lost some of their sensitivity to insulin. When you move gently before eating, you prime your body to handle food better. Your muscles wake up and become more responsive to that meal you're about to eat. This doesn't require going to the gym. This isn't about sweating. This is about gentle, purposeful movement. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk around your house or outside. Maybe it's some light stretching. Maybe it's Tai Chi or gentle yoga. Some people do simple strength exercises like wall push-ups or assisted squats. The key is that you're moving. What happens physiologically is fascinating. When you move before eating, you increase something called glucose sensitivity. Your muscles become better at pulling glucose out of your blood. This means when you eat, your blood sugar doesn't spike as high. Your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard. Your energy stays more stable. For people over 60, this is especially important because insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age. You're fighting that decline by priming your body to use glucose better. You're signaling to your muscles, hey, wake up, we're about to fuel you. Studies show that 10 minutes of light movement before breakfast reduces blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. 30%. That's the difference between your body handling food well and struggling with it. That difference compounds every single day. People who do this consistently show better energy levels throughout the morning. They have fewer energy crashes mid-morning. They have better focus. They have better mood. And over time, they show better metabolic health. The movement also wakes up your joints and your nervous system. Your balance improves. Your circulation improves. Your digestion improves because you've activated your digestive system gently before food arrives. The fourth habit: eating protein and fiber within 2 hours of waking. Now you're going to eat breakfast. But here's the critical part. What you eat in the first 2 hours of your day sets your metabolic tone for the entire day. After 60, your ability to absorb protein decreases. Your body becomes less responsive to the protein you eat. So you actually need more of it, but you have less ability to use it. This creates a problem. You lose muscle mass. Muscle loss after 60 is one of the biggest determinants of how well you age. People who preserve muscle mass live longer, stay more independent, have fewer falls, have better metabolism. So breakfast needs to be protein forward. I'm talking about 25 to 40 grams of protein. That could be eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fish, or even a protein smoothie. Pair this with fiber. Fiber from vegetables, whole grains, or fruit. Here's why this combination matters. Protein keeps you full longer. It stabilizes your blood sugar. It signals to your body that you need to preserve muscle. Fiber does something equally important. It feeds your gut bacteria, which have an enormous influence on your health after 60. Your gut bacteria control your immunity, your mood, your metabolism, your inflammation levels. When you start your day with protein and fiber, several things happen. Your appetite hormones balance out. Ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, doesn't spike as much. Leptin, your satiety hormone, stays more stable. You feel full for longer, which means you're less likely to eat too much throughout the day. Your blood sugar stays stable. You don't get that morning energy crash around 10 a.m. Your energy plateaus and stays steady. Your brain has the glucose it needs without the spikes and crashes. People who eat protein and fiber for breakfast show better weight management, better energy, better focus, and better metabolic health. One study found that older adults who started their day with a high-protein breakfast had significantly better muscle mass preservation compared to those who didn't. The key is to do this consistently, not just on some mornings, every morning. Your body adapts to patterns. When it knows a protein-rich breakfast is coming every morning, it optimizes for that. The fifth habit, a structured morning routine with no rush. This one is subtle but incredibly powerful. The way you structure your morning affects your nervous system for the entire day. If you wake up and immediately check your phone, immediately think about your to-do list, immediately rush to get ready, you've activated your stress response. Your body is already in sympathetic nervous system activation. That's fight or flight mode. This is appropriate sometimes, but not first thing in the morning. After 60, your ability to regulate your nervous system declines. You become more reactive. Stress hits harder. It takes longer to recover from stress. So starting your day calm is even more important. Here's what I recommend. Create a morning routine that has built-in moments of calm. This could be as simple as drinking your water slowly and mindfully. Looking out the window. Taking a few deep breaths. Maybe it's a short meditation or just sitting quietly with your tea. For some people, it's journaling. Writing down 3 things they're grateful for or 3 things they want to accomplish. For others, it's stretching or gentle yoga. The specific activity matters less than the quality of presence you bring to it. What this does is activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest system. When you activate this first thing in the morning, you set your nervous system up to be calmer, more resilient. You're better able to handle stress throughout the day. You recover from stress better. The research on this is remarkable. Older adults who have a calm, structured morning routine show better blood pressure, lower cortisol levels, better mood, better sleep at night, and better overall health outcomes. The structure itself is calming because your brain doesn't have to make as many decisions. One warning though, if you rush through your morning, if you're stressed while doing these habits, they lose some of their power. So do them slowly. Do them with intention. This isn't about checking boxes. This is about quality time with yourself before the day takes over. The 6th habit, brain stimulation, that engages you within those first 2 hours, also includes something that engages your brain. Not scrolling social media, not passively watching news, active mental engagement. This could be reading. It could be a word puzzle or Sudoku. It could be learning something new. It could be a conversation. The key is active mental engagement. Here's why this matters. After 60, cognitive decline is a real concern. But neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new connections, doesn't disappear. It just requires intentionality. When you engage your brain early in the day, when you're fresh and alert, you're building brain resilience. Studies show that older adults who engage in cognitively stimulating activities in the morning, especially early in the day, have better memory, better focus, better executive function throughout the day. You're not just maintaining your brain, you're potentially improving it. The specific activity matters less than the fact that you're actively engaging your brain. Reading a book requires different mental effort than a crossword puzzle. Learning something new on your phone requires different engagement than having a meaningful conversation. Varying your activities is actually beneficial because you're working different parts of your brain. The catch is timing. Do this when you're fresh and alert, not later in the day when you're tired. Your brain's neuroplasticity is highest when your cortisol is naturally elevated, which is right after you wake up. The 7th habit, limiting decisions and planning ahead. Here's something less obvious but incredibly important. After 60, decision fatigue becomes more pronounced. Your brain has a limited amount of decision-making energy. When you use it up early, your judgment worsens, your self-control worsens, your emotional regulation worsens. So structure your mornings to require fewer decisions. Decide the night before what you're going to wear. Decide what you're going to eat for breakfast the night before. Decide when you're going to move. Create a routine that just happens automatically. This does something remarkable for your energy and your success rate. When decisions are automated, your willpower is preserved for things that actually matter. Studies on people who are highly productive show that they minimize small decisions. That's why many successful people wear the same thing every day or have a very limited wardrobe. That's why they have structured morning routines. For health outcomes, this matters tremendously. When you've decided the night before that you're going to have oatmeal with berries and eggs for breakfast, you're much more likely to do it than if you decide in the morning when you're tired and your willpower is low. Older adults who have planned, structured mornings show better adherence to healthy habits, better emotional regulation, and better overall health outcomes. It's not sexy, but it works. The 8th habit, moving your bowels naturally. This is something we don't talk about enough, but it's crucial to longevity. A healthy digestive system that eliminates waste regularly is foundational to health. After 60, constipation becomes more common. Digestive issues become more common. But they're not inevitable. The combination of hydration, gentle movement, and protein and fiber for breakfast naturally stimulates your digestive system. Most people over 60 who implement these other habits find that they have regular, healthy bowel movements in the morning without forcing anything. The water wakes up your digestive system. The movement gets things moving. The protein and fiber give your colon something to work with and something to feed your bacteria. Together, these create an environment where your digestive system works naturally. This might seem minor, but chronic constipation is associated with worse health outcomes, increased inflammation, worse mood, and compromised nutrient absorption. When you get regular elimination in the morning, you're setting up your entire body for better health. So here's what a practical morning routine looks like. You're not spending 3 hours on this. We're talking about a 60 to 90-minute routine. You wake up. First thing, you drink 16 to 20 ounces of water. This takes 2 minutes. Then you get outside for some sunlight, even if just for 5 to 10 minutes. You can do this slowly while drinking your water. Then you engage in some gentle movement for 10 to 15 minutes. Walking, stretching, yoga, tai chi, whatever feels good. The key is that you're moving with intention. Then you eat a breakfast with protein and fiber. 25 to 40 grams of protein. Plenty of vegetables or fruit. You eat this mindfully, without distractions. While you're eating, or right after, you engage in something cognitively stimulating for 10 to 20 minutes. Reading, a puzzle, learning something new. Throughout all of this, you're keeping your pace calm. You're not rushing. You're not checking your phone for messages. You're not thinking about your stress. You've planned this routine the night before, so you're not making decisions. It just happens. That's it. 60 to 90 minutes, and you've set yourself up for a day of better health outcomes. When you implement these morning habits consistently, the changes are significant. Not immediately, but definitely over weeks and months. Within 2 weeks, most people report better sleep at night. They fall asleep easier, sleep deeper, wake up more refreshed. Why? Because you've reset your circadian rhythm and calmed your nervous system. Within 4 weeks, people report more stable energy throughout the day. No more 3 p.m. energy crashes. Their thinking is clearer. Their mood is better. Within 8 weeks, blood work often shows improvements. Blood sugar is more stable. Inflammation markers are lower. Cholesterol often improves. Cortisol levels are more balanced. Over months, the physical changes become visible. People often lose weight, even without changing their eating habits otherwise. Their energy seems to go up. They sleep better. Their digestion improves. They often report more motivation for other healthy habits because they're feeling so much better. Over years, the research is clear. People who implement these morning habits consistently show better health outcomes. They live longer. They maintain muscle mass better. They have better cognitive function. They have fewer chronic diseases. But here's the thing. You don't do this for the outcomes in 10 years. You do this for how you feel right now. The better sleep tonight. The steadier energy today. The clearer thinking this morning. The the better mood after breakfast. These immediate benefits motivate you to keep going. I want to acknowledge that everyone's situation is different. If you have health conditions, if you're taking medications, if you have specific limitations, you might need to modify these habits. If you have joint pain, gentle movement might mean a shorter walk or range of motion exercises instead of stretching. If you have swallowing difficulties, your water might need to be in a different form. If you have blood sugar issues, your breakfast might need different proportions of protein and fiber. The point is not to follow a rigid rule. The point is to understand the principles and adapt them to your life. If you have specific health conditions, I'd encourage you to work with your doctor or a nutritionist to make sure these habits are right for you. I want to challenge you. If you're not already doing these morning habits, pick one. Just one. Start with the water. Tomorrow morning, before anything else, drink 16 to 20 ounces of water. That's it. Do that for 3 days. Notice how you feel. Then add the sunlight. Then add the movement. Then add the protein-forward breakfast. You don't have to do all of this at once. But I can tell you from seeing thousands of patients, the people who start with even one of these habits and stick with it find that their motivation to add the others follows naturally. Because they feel better. And when you feel better, you want to do more things that make you feel better. This isn't about being perfect. It's about consistency. It's about showing up for yourself every morning with these habits that have been proven to extend not just how long you live, but how well you live. The years you add to your life are important. But more important are the years you add to your life that you can actually enjoy. Years where you have energy. Years where you can move without pain. Years where you can think clearly. Years where you feel good. Thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear from you. If you implement these morning habits, share your results in the comments below. Let me know which habit made the biggest difference for you. And if you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more evidence-based health information specifically designed for people over 60. I'm Dr. Ryan Westbrook, and I'll see you in the next video.